real fast. So a lot of initiation tools from ICM. Also a very big front line. Wukong and Lissandra is pretty solid jungle mid combo. Wukong provides a lot of a damage, Lissandra provides a lot of a lockdown. So if Wukong ever wants to go mid, there's always the option. Although Akali is a slippery ninja and is not as easy to lock her down compared to someone like Orianna or Victor, for example. These control mages probably easier to kill. Gotta click the timeline a couple more times, and we are finally starting the show. UNL Season 8 is back on track with Ironclad mentality versus Homo Salis. Are we going to see any level 1 moves? ICM keeping close, going straight down top lane. They want to secure some summoner advantages here. They will try to surprise My Dad is Black. He enters a tri-bush fast enough, but he's about to meet the entire team, and there goes the flash. That's why holding the tri-bush like that in that position is pretty much always risky, because you don't have enough time to try and react to someone like Nautilus coming in. So you probably just want to stay further back, or just try and get there even faster and just stay in the river instead, where you actually have enough time to react to people trying to ambush you. And in the context of this game, maybe the set flash will become a big deal. Maybe Wukong will find a window to punish. Right now, though, he's starting from blue buff, so having away from that set lane. Quite understandable when you consider how much setup you have on the other side. The slows from Ashe and all the CC from Nautilus. Much preferable to just start from bot lane. Maybe you can find some opportunities there. On the other side, Momo Deviluk also starting from top side of the map. So he'll be looking to facilitate the aggressive play coming in from the bot lane. If the bot lane is pushing, Momo Deviluk should be there to try and cover or counter gank, depending on what Wibbly decides to do. Will we be skipping any camps? Momo Deviluk's opting to skip his wolves and potentially his Gromp. He's going to try and appear close to bot lane river pretty much as soon as the bot lane is finishing their push, or he's just looking to attack mid instead. I feel like that's what we're going to see first. And Kosaka will have to be forced to use his Glacial Path, but as you can see, it's pretty easy if he doesn't get interrupted. Now Homo Salis bot lane, they have to finish this push, they have to try and shove the wave in. They will successfully do so. The dredge line will not connect. Judgy Rock, standing behind the minion line, was in no danger whatsoever. All that commotion, Wibbly will still be able to take the Skull Crab in the bottom river, despite NACL bot lane having the push. Kosatka and Paris in the mid lane. A lot of heavy trading now. Paris without his cooldowns. Wibbly Stir applying the red buff, but probably able to get to her tower. Didn't have to cover a lot of distance, but could still be in trouble. Okay, instead ICM will opt to just secure the crab on the other side and maybe look for something top lane. Though now Mundo is still walking out of base. Will not opt to go for a teleport. I have to say I expected a little bit more lane dominance coming in from NACL. As I say that, Karma coming in for a W, but now we'll have to pay the price actually. The flash is quite late. Yusef does not quite the auto attack range to chase back, and now the trade is going completely in the other direction. Miscalculates, flashes in, gets punished. So NACL bot lane gets that kill pretty much. I mean, they were kind of looking for it, but at the end of the day, they were gifted that kill. If you consider what really happened, I guess they won't mind. February 14th will try to shove this wave in, as he is in a pretty precarious position. Don't want to trade against the set. Even in the middle of all these minions, my Dad is Black can still stun all of them with the face breaker and apply a lot of damage afterwards, so gotta be careful. Although the state of the game is, yeah, not a lot happening around top lane for now. Has to be said. As the saying goes, top lane is an island. Face breaker activates Mundo's passive once again. MDiv will have to break that passive first if he wants to get anything done. Any kind of long trade. Not a lot happening mid lane either. Kosatka just trying to neutralize. It's Paris still with the CS lead. Oh, but now we're going to see a big trade. Turk and flip, and that's it. We're not going to use the ultimate just yet. Paris recognizes that there was no kill window there. But perhaps it will come soon enough. Homo Devil covering bot lane, but the junglers will not meet. Wibbly is actually completely on the other side of the map, finishing his Gromp, and will target that top lane. Or not. We'll just back straight to base instead of attempting a lane gank. It's kind of interesting that we've only really seen one gank happen in these first 8 minutes of the game. It was Wibbly showing up in mid, and that was pretty much it. But now we might see some more action, as Bishan looks for something, but Wibbly goes in a little bit too late. So that will just be a trade of kills. But now MDiv in the top lane, he's going to do a lot of damage to the Mundo. Will force out the flash. But now Wibbly, on the other hand, is overextending on the bottom side of the map, and that's one kill to Paris. Will probably be more. Shuriken Flip lands as well. Perfect execution. It's a double kill. It's a perfect roam from Homo Salis. And the play bottom lane from Ironclad Mentality was not very well coordinated. Homo Salis take the full prize. They take all of the kills, and they will take the dragon on top of that. They will start the dragon stacking. Having that Akali be ahead in this game is always going to present a big problem for Ironclad mentality, even though some of these targets may not be as easy to kill. Akali will eventually just become this big menace. As the burst, but can also provide the sustained damage in the side lane scenario as well. As we see Momo Deviluk going straight onto Bishan. He does not have... Well, he did have Flash, but I guess couldn't really use it to provide himself more distance between himself and the Homo Salis team, so that's going to be the end of that. Momo Deviluk once again... Well, should I say once again, or was that the first time we actually saw him actively walk into bot lane? But now, Starcaller onto Yusuf really aggressively, but he's going to meet the jungler of ICM. And Wibblyster is right there to try and support his team, but Ashe will fall anyways. Is it going to be a return kill for Varus? Not quite. Wibbly got what he came for. And this bot lane is heating up real fast. As we see some more fighting going on. Kosatka will not take the glacial path, which means he has to flash now. That was almost another kill for Paris. So much aggression around this bot lane. I really like what NACL are doing. Supporting the Varus and the Karma in their efforts. You know that's where most of the action will be, because Varus and Karma, they like to play aggressive, they like to push the wave. So you want to make sure that they can continue to do so. Meanwhile, the top lane matchup is also going in NACL's favor. That was almost a solo kill. But Mundo barely escapes with his life. I'm not sure how that wasn't a kill. That just looked like the tower shot was going to kill the Mundo, but I guess he continues to walk away free. We're about to see another skirmish here as Momo Deviluk is caught up in all that CC. Mundo, with his low health bar, decides to help anyway. But who is going to take this fight? ICM, they just have more members at their disposal. They just take away all of the health bars of NACL. They had the numbers advantage all this time. And it didn't matter that Paris has all these items. He can't really make use of them just yet. I think the perfect execution was actually on cooldown when this whole fight happened, so perhaps was not the best time for Homo Salis to try and fight back. As ICM will get the Rift Herald as a prize as well. It won't just be the kills onto the Wukong and the Lysandra. Heartsteel now completed for Dr. Mundo in the top lane. My Dad is Black will try to counter that health stacking with the Blade of the Ruined King. Usually the item of choice versus these big tanks. But now, once again, ICM choosing the engage, but they choose it at the wrong time. They did not have the vision of the enemy jungler. It was all cleared up. They choose to engage, and they are toast. Bishan once again falling. This is Judgy 4th kill in this game. As Yusuf also zoned away from his minions. Will not die. But the turret will probably be the first one to fall. as Homo Salis will take the plates. The plates are actually falling in less than 5 seconds. They will just continue to hit this turret, and it will be the first turret of the game going to Homo Salis. The gold lead slowly going in their favor. As now Homo Salis will move to the dragon setup. ICM feeling brave enough to try and fight for this one. But the start of the fight is actually going in their favor. Wibbly with a nice engage onto 3, getting everyone CC'd up. All the flashes have to be used to try and escape, but it won't be enough. Wibbly continues to show great form this week. First on the Jarvan and now on the Wukong. Choosing the right engages. And ICM bring it back. 1 dragon to 1. Homo Salis? Yeah, they looked good, but now ICM are showing that that win yesterday was not just a blip on the radar. They are looking to contend for the top spots in UNL still. This could be the start of their rise up the table. But obviously, they still have to do the dirty work in this game. They still have to work hard, secure the win, and the gold lead is still in NACL's favor, though only slightly. It's less than 1,000 now. It's pretty much negligible. February 14th is trying to push this in, but it's going to be too late. The passive's going to proc, but he still has that maximum dosage to try and tank through all the damage of Homo Salis. Do they have enough to try and bring him down? My dad is black with the Haymaker flash. He's going to get that kill. And there's not enough health in the world to protect yourself from that. Bishan, once again, was about to be caught in a pretty bad position. Had to flash out of there. M-Dip now with a lot of time toppling. He's going to take down his turret. As ICM go in with the Rift Herald. The Dredge line once again to try and log down support. It will not result in much, if anything. As we see Akali on the flank. This is going to be the start of a fight for NACL. Wibbly will not fall. That was a clone. Karis does not have access to the backline. Has to perfect execution away from it all. As now Momo Devilook is locked down, but he's going to escape. Karma provides him with the movement speed. And no kills in this fight. As the ARAM continues. But ICM have the numbers. They will just force this tower down. That's the first turret of the game for Ironclad Mentality. Barris still with a bounty on his head. Judgy Rocks, really, really good performance this game. Yes, numbers are high. The kill numbers are high. Pretty much, this is prime position for an AD carry like Barris to turn the tables. I suppose there's no need to turn the tables here because the tables are flipped in NACL's favor, so to speak. They still have a gold lead. Maybe they don't feel like it. I'm not sure what the situation is right now inside of their heads, but the cold facts of the game right now state that NACL have more gold to use than ICM. But that could switch up on us at any moment. NACL still have a lot of teamfight tools as we're going to see the engage. NACL walking up straight to mid lane, but they're all going to die right here. That was not it. You have to ward your flanks before you try and do any kind of maneuver like this. They will just fall one after another. Momo Deviluk slowed up by the Ashe auto attacks. Paris also rooted inside of his Twilight Shroud. You can't really turn it around because of all the CC and all the damage. ICM! It's a clean ace. Instead of trying to work the side lanes, instead of just trying to spread the map a little bit versus this ICM team, they just choose to walk it all the way mid. And ICM, they can just press all the R buttons they have, and that'll be more than enough to lock some of these champions down. But, oh, Judgy Rocks flashes in to try and get the kill onto February 14th, but he misjudges completely. Oh my word. That Mundo has more health. He has more health than you thought he had. And in the span of 1 minute, ICM are now in the driver's seat. Well and truly. It has to be said. The Ashe in the great spot as well. Yusuf picking up so many kills just in that fight alone. Also some smart itemization from Kosatka on the Lissandra. We see the Liandry's Anguish that will be followed up by the Void Staff. So even the tanks will start to feel the damage coming in from Lissandra as NACL once again going mid, but it's once again the Enchanted Crystal Arrow followed up by all the rest of the CC that ICM has in store, and feels like I'm repeating myself. This is not the way to go against this team when Yusuf, all he has to do is just press R to stop the push. And now the entrance onto the Dragon Pit is freed up completely. NACL, they cannot start the Baron either, even if they wanted to. All the leads that they had in the solo lanes, NACL, they are pretty much squandered at this point. Feel like they now have to switch things up a bit, try and reorient themselves in this game. Going mid is not the way to go, as we've seen twice now already. ICM will not hesitate to pull the trigger and run you down. So have to take a different approach, and as I say that, we finally see Akali in the side lane. But now with this gold lead, ICM have a lot more tools to work with. The Mundo is so hard for Akali to take down with only the Shadow Flame. I mean, she can build Demonic Embrace as a second item, but I feel like even with that, the Mundo has such a big advantage. He can withstand all the hurt just from the Akali, so that side lane matchup probably in ICM's favor. And then on the other side, Lissandra can just wave clear, so... Oh, what an Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Yusuf. Momo Deviluk once again in trouble, does not have flash, will just fall to the combined power of ICM. And are we going straight to Baron is the question. Or are we looking for more picks? February 14th, still holding it down in the bottom lane versus the Akali. Wibbly's not done yet. They do not want to starve the Baron, even though a jungler's dead. I assume they don't quite feel safe enough about starting it, although in my assessment, I feel like they would be able to just get that Baron down, or maybe even turn the fight if they chose to. But this is not bad either. They will just take down some more towers, build up their gold lead, and then they will just approach the Baron with utmost confidence next time, knowing that their coffers are so much bigger than the enemy team's. NACL They are struggling on the map right now. Have not been able to make proactive plays. Whenever they tried to go mid, they were completely stopped by the enemy team. And now the Baron is actually started up by ICM. Now Momo Devolupic is up on the map. They have to stop him. They have to turn the fight, and that is exactly what they're going to do. All the CC is absolutely massive from ICM. Judgy Rocks could not move an inch in that fight. As Paris tries to hide in the Twilight Shroud, but the Mundo will get you with that cleaver. A Heartsteel proc as well, to add insult to injury. An ICM just walking it down. I don't think they can end the game. They may try to do so, though. Still looking quite brave here, hitting the towers. They want to take this fight, but now the respawns are coming in from NACL. They will be stopped. And finally, My Dad is Black is able to ult straight into the enemy team and cause some damage, but ICM actually kiting back and doing a lot of damage in return. Yusuf is so huge on this Ashe. He's doing so much damage. He's legendary. He's out damaging everyone on the side of NACL. Paris is now trying to get to the backline. Will he be able to get back kill? The Shuriken Flip actually lands, so that's going to be a shutdown. February 14th now. Still fighting. Versus NACL. And that push will be nullified. That was not the end of the game. That could not have been the end of the game. But ICM, they felt like they could take it. They perhaps overestimated their power. But it's okay, because they still have so much gold to work with, and Yusuf is still so fed. Ahead now in items compared to the Varus. We've come so far since that early game where the Varus was really far ahead in lane. Now the tables... Keep talking about the tables. But the tables have turned, and it doesn't look like they're going to turn again. We're now sitting perfectly still. As ICM are looking to make their next move on the map. They will just take the dragon without any difficulties. Ashe can just solo it. Because now we see a two-pronged assault from ICM. Ashe just outside of vision will probably look for some kind of enchanted crystal arrow play very soon. NACL have to be careful. Oh, the crystal arrow actually lands. Mikhail's Crucible to try and counter. NACL, have they found the right engage? Finally, it's set who falls first. However, they just don't have the damage to... Like, they cannot reach the backline either. Now Paris coming in, but he's getting CC'd up as well. It's a triple for... It's a pentakill for Wibbly! How did that just happen? All the burst in damage. It was a triple straight into the penta. In the blink of an eye, Wibbly secures his first pentakill in UNL. And that seems to be a clear message to the rest of the league. He is back. And by extension, Ironclad mentality is back.